Well, hello, you beautiful little sausage, and welcome to rather different surroundings. This is the beginning of the Rehab vlog. Oh my god! And this is not as terrifying as I was expecting. I mean, so far I've only been here for like half a day, so obviously I still feel fine. And but it's nice. Everything is nicer than I expected. The people seem to be lovely, both like staff and particularly like the other people I'm in with seem really, really, really lovely and friendly and welcoming. And everyone's got like, you know, their own story to tell, and everyone's quite open about that. And yeah, so I think I'm hopefully going to have a reasonably happy time here, like hopefully. Obviously, you know, once kind of withdrawal hits and things like that, it's going to be a bit shittier. But I'm still living in hope that they're not going to really make me feel like absolute shit for like absolutely too long. But the thing with like coming off of methadone is that you just don't know. Like sometimes it takes ages to creep up to like a really, you know, enough withdrawal that they're going to give me the new med. So, and I hate that slow creepy bit where it just takes it, you just feel jittery but you don't really feel sick yet. That's my least favorite bit. But anyway, I like my room. I will say it is pretty fucking hot in this room, unfortunately, and thank God I brought with me this venti fan. One of my biggest fears this morning was that they were going to turn me away for having too much luggage, because if you saw my resistance vlog, I had about the same amount of luggage this time. Obviously, they have to go through all of your stuff to check you haven't brought in contraband, and I was like, what if they just say like, you've got too much stuff, like you've got to get rid of some of it or something. But they didn't. Fortunately, they were really good about all my stuff, so I have all my stuff, and that makes me happy. I haven't had to go to any like meetings or whatever today because it's my birthday, so I'm allowed to miss them. Yes. But tomorrow I've got to do them. But it does seem like the meeting group things are quite informal, and if they're with all these fun people, then maybe it'll be fun. I don't know. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I feel like fucking ass. This is a Snapchat filter because I also look like fucking ass. So it's quite nice to have like a magic mirror that pretends you don't look like ass. Unfortunately, I've got a real mirror right over here and it's telling me the truth and I'd rather not know. I apologize for the fucking sound quality on this mic, dude. I didn't know it would be as bad as it fucking is, but it's really fucking bad, isn't it? I am so sorry. Like, I feel quite crappy, but like, I hate to like go down there and say, dude, I feel crappy. Can I have some fucking meds yet? They're gonna blatantly tell me to fuck off because it hasn't even been 24 hours yet. But this is why I always split my methadone dose, because it does not fucking last 24 hours. It doesn't. If you're on a low dose, yeah, it lasts 24 hours. But if you're on a high dose, ironically, it wears off faster. Yeah, like, got some fucking bullshit going on. Like, I don't normally get the bone pain and stuff. I don't get that usually till a lot later into the process. But tonight I have the fucking bone pain shit going on already. Could be worse, but it's enough to be annoying. My nose is running, and I tried to eat some Rice Krispies, and then I had this thing that I get in withdrawal where you eat a certain amount and then your stomach just goes, fuck you, you're not having any more. And then you do this like gag sneeze thing, like this completely involuntary gag sneeze thing. You have to get your hand over your mouth because you are just about to sneeze everything you're eating all over the fucking kitchen otherwise. And and then you can't swallow anything else because you will just keep sneezing and gagging, and it's fucked, man. Yeah, so got that going on. And all the yawning, my stomach's making weird fucking noises. And the annoying thing is, like, because they add up all your symptoms, and if your symptoms get to like a certain score, then I don't know, you fucking win a prize, and the prize is meds. Like, so some of the scoring points are like so fleeting and subjective, because one of them is like goosebumps, and I find that in withdrawal, like goosebumps really come and go for me, that I can get really goosebumpy and then shortly afterwards the goosebumps fuck off. So it's like, how are they going to catch my I took a picture of my goosebumps so that I've got evidence of my goosebumps in case I don't have goosebumps when I see them. Like, Dude, like it's really weird. It ebbs and flows for me in the weirdest way. They have to keep like poking their head around the door though for like the first 3 nights. Every hour they poke their head in the door. So like every time I'd get to sleep, the door would fucking open. I'd have to like hedgehog into my bed. And so yeah, 3 hours sleep. And now I've just been up drinking fucking tea and trying to eat Rice Krispies and then sneezing them all over the fucking place. Are they going to give me meds after 24 hours, or is it going to be more like 36? Is it going to be, when's it going to fucking be? And even then, I'm not going to really get enough, because although they said they're going to start me on 75%, it turns out that's bullshit. They're going to start me on less than that, but have the 75% as like top ups if I need it. So I'm just going to be a whingy pain in the ass, basically, to like all the nurses, because I'm just going to have to constantly be down there going, I'm dying again, give me something else. So that's going to be fun. I have been listening to music, which always helps when I'm in withdrawal. I find music is the most helpful thing. And Bloodhound Gang are still so good. Like, what is it? Foxtrot Uniform, Charlie Kilo. That one is so good. Like, the lyrics are just so good. I don't know how they memorized that whole song because it's just so random, but it's a really good song. And they are so underrated in today's age, I feel like. But anyway, I'm gonna fuck off. Oh, it's fucking day 2 today. I'm having a fucking rotter of a day. Oh my god. They gave me melatonin. They wouldn't give me my fucking Nitol, despite the fact I take that shit every night and I have done since 2012. So thanks for that. I brought you it, and you didn't let me have it for reasons unfucking known. But they did give me melatonin, and it did actually send me to sleep, so that was good. I only got 3 hours sleep, and then I was just like the ghost of the fucking corridors, swooping hither and thither. And then I tried to eat some toast just before breakfast time, and I'm so glad it was before breakfast time and no one else was there, because my stomach just went, nah, fuck off. And I really thought I was going to be sick in the kitchen bin. I was like, that's going to endear me to everyone, isn't it, if I'm sick in the kitchen bin in the middle of breakfast? So I snuck my bit of toast up here. I don't know if you're allowed food in your room, really, but no one was looking, so I brought it up. Because the thing is, I cannot, when I feel a bit shit, I cannot just fucking sit and eat with like no distractions, and you're not meant to have phones like at meal times and stuff. I don't know what time it got to, but a bit later I ended up puking, so that was really lovely. Like, if I'm at home and I'm doing a methadone taper, I always, if I feel like I'm going to puke, that's when I will take some methadone, because it's like, okay, I don't want to get to this place where I literally can't take methadone because I can't keep it down, and my only option is to like stick it up my arse or something. Like, I don't want to get to that place. So I'm not used to like actually yakking from this stuff. So that wasn't very nice. They did give me a metoclopramide like anti-sickness thing, and it did actually seem to work quite well. Like, pooped out my entire fucking digestive tract instead, but you know, I guess that's par for the course. But anyway, I fucking had to go and pitch a fit in the end, because I was like, I just felt so shit, and I really was thinking of just sacking the whole thing off and going home, and that made me feel really, really, really sad, because the absolute saint of a doctor at my drug treatment place, who has organised this whole fucking thing for me, like, as I said, I had been battering my head off a brick wall for 5 fucking years about a change of medication, and then this doctor came along about 1.5 years ago and has actually been really pushing for this. But I didn't know he had like a personal connection to this place via his partner, so that's really nice. I felt really bad after that, because I was like, oh my god, like, these guys have like put so much effort in getting me here, and because I am basically like the spearhead test case for this being a treatment option. So, like, no fucking pressure or anything. Like, I was already thinking, how the fuck do I get out of here? Like, I felt like shit, and I was like, how the fuck do I get out of here? Should I get out of here? 2 weeks feels long, bro. I don't want to do this. There's a really good goth night on next weekend. It's a new goth night starting, and I'm still going to fucking be in here, and I'm not going to get to go to it. There is going to be more, but I want to go to the first one. So I was thinking, like, should I just fucking bail? And then this lovely guy comes in and tells me all of that, and then I felt so bad because I was like, I don't want to let them down. I'm going to feel so shit if I let them down. Like, that upset me. And then I was like, right, well, while I'm all upset and having a bit of a paddy about something, I'm going to take my paddy downstairs and pitch a bit of a fit about this fucking meds and see if I can get them. If I'm a bit wound up, because I got the strong feeling they were not going to give me these meds until I was like emotionally flipping out. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. So I was like, right, well, while I'm having an emotional flip out, let's fucking march down there. And I've still got my sick bucket, and I'm still like heaving over my sick bucket. So, yeah. It was terrible because they took me in to see a doctor, and he okayed it. He was like, yeah, you can have this. But then I go back to the nurses to be given it. And the nurse says, oh, you have to have this score of like, I think 11. You have to have a score of 11. They are such stingy markers. Oh my God. Like, literally, I don't know how they were getting such low scores off of what was going on with me before. Because I'm familiar with the Cowles scale. I've done it on myself so many times when I've been tapering. I know what a different level feels like. But they were just giving me these crazy low scores. But anyway, when she scored me that time, I actually ended up with double the score I needed to get the new meds. So, fuck you. But then they told me, I was like, how long is this going to take to fucking work? I feel like shit. And someone told me 20 minutes, like it's going to kick in 20 minutes. I'm up here and I set my alarm for half an hour because I'm like, right, I'll give it an extra 10 minutes, see how I feel. Half an hour passes, I still feel like shit. I set the alarm for another half hour, so it will be like a full hour at that point. I feel even worse after the hour. So I go marching my indignant ass back down there to beg them for more, like a furious crackhead, and they were like, nah. But they did give me some diazepam, so at least I feel less like thank God, because it's not only like an anti-anxiety thing, but it's also a muscle relaxant. So all the like restless legs and shit that you get goes away quite nicely. Can't really tell, honestly, whether the new med is doing anything at this point, because it's been nearly the 2 hours now. I had to put on some music and just start dancing around the room, because the only thing that keeps me sane in withdrawal is music, and usually dancing to that music, because I do get so manic in withdrawal. And even when I literally feel like I'm about to fucking puke all over myself and I've got fucking horrible chills, getting up and dancing actually does help. It shakes off your restless legs, gets rid of some of the anxiety. Just keep a sick bowl nearby, you'll be fine. But anyway, I got out of both of the main groups today. I have got a free pass on those. But they want me at the groups tomorrow, so let's hope I feel like more compass mentis tomorrow. I kind of wanted to do the group this morning. I didn't, because the theme of it was like, write a goodbye letter to your addiction. I like a creative writing task, obviously, but it's not how I roll, man. It's not how I roll. These big sweeping commitments of sobriety and like, I'm never going to do this again. Goodbye to this. Never again. I can't do that shit. You know, the best predictor of future events is past events, and I have tried to quit things a lot of times. Like I have had fucking melodramatic, narcissistic, whingy fucking moments where it's been like, you know, like the fucking tail end of unwise shit, and you get yourself all in a big fucking tiz about it, and you're like, I'm never gonna do this again. This is fucking awful. I don't want to do this again. This is no good. So you just, you know, fucking shooting up and crying about it, and it's a fucking pathetic sight. And but like, does it ever last? No, it doesn't. You do that shit, you toss everything in the bin, 3 hours later you fish it all fucking straight back out the bin and get back to what you were doing. Has to be an organic process for me. That, you know, little improvements, and then you find you want the thing less, and when you do the thing you realize it makes you feel like shit, and then you organically move away from it. That is how it has to be for me. And hopefully that's how it will go with this new med. But yeah, so writing a goodbye letter to my addiction, does that sound like it's going to be positive coming from the person who wrote, well, it was really my character Eden who wrote this poem, which became a song, and it went, "Is it such a terrible sin to pledge my love to heroin? To stumble through your church of lies, tell a rude poem to the blushing bride? I think you're jealous, I think you're bitter, that my love runs deeper than your cheap white glitter. Your wedding shoes, your diamond rings, and none of these mean a fucking thing compared to the only love that won't walk away, that will never hate me and walk away." Alternatively, we've also got, "On my gravestone, this is what it said. Whenever I'm sober, I wish that I was dead." I'm far better at writing love songs to drugs. It would have been an interesting creative writing task, despite the fact I suspect it would have pissed everybody off what I came out with. Day 4. I'm back on my little twat microphone. This is very definitely a Snapchat filter because it's fucking 6 o'clock in the morning and I look like an anus. And my hair, fucking, what is my hair even doing? I didn't bring a fucking hairbrush with me. All I've got with me is a comb, and I can't find it. Weird thing I'm noticing about being here with lots of other people, not on your own, like fucking 23 hours out the day. The internet no longer feels like real life to me, which might be a very bizarre statement to make, because I'm pretty sure to most people the internet does not feel like real life, because it's not real life, it's the fucking internet. It's the gibberings of twats floating in a satellite dish in the sky, or as someone on TikTok put it, you all disappear when I put my phone down, so it doesn't matter. But that's not how it is to me, because the internet is the majority of my life. You know, it's a fucking electronic fever dream. How weird is that? But yeah, weird one. I also feel like my accent is getting fucked up being here around like a load of brummies and oh fuck, am I getting a fucking chest infection here? I better not be. Someone's got a chest infection, so I'm probably going to get a chest infection. No, but being around a load of brummies and northern people, my accent is going up shit creek. I feel like I'm also swearing way more. I swear all the time anyway, but it's getting worse. Because there's no one I have to restrain myself around. So yeah, I'm going to come out very sweary, I think. Very sweary and more brummy than I'd like to be. Well, hello. It's a bit weird being able to record from all the way over here with my shitty sound little tiny mic. I had a very, very lovely night last night. They taught me how to play blackjack, so I have become a part of the ever-growing card table. It's starting to feel like a holiday camp now that I don't feel like I'm going to puke every 5 seconds. So that's quite nice. The night before that, I had a complete emotional wobbly. There's a very, very lovely night nurse guy. He had to talk to me for about half an hour. I think they've basically realised if I go down there and I'm just like a bit twitchy, give me the medication, because if you don't, I will be back in another hour, and then you will have to tolerate the most boring half hour, like emotional whinge. And it honestly, the down bits of like when there's not enough medication in my system, it feels like being a fucking alcoholic again, where you just get really emotional about bullshit, and you know it's bullshit at the time, but you still can't stop yourself being crazy emotional about it. Like yesterday, the thing that first upset me was that this one really, really, really lovely lady who was the first person to like say hi to me and welcome me when I got here. And she was just such a like wise, reassuring presence around the place. She was so lovely and so intelligent and just brilliant. And she was going home, and I was like, ooh. And then I realised that all the fucking girls are going home before me. There's only me, and I think like 3 guys who are going to be here as long as me, because obviously everyone's like staggered from when they got here, and I like most of the people that I'm going to be here with, because one of them has turned out to be basically an extreme right wing, anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist, so that's fun. But I haven't. Because I didn't want to get into it until I'd like actually done my own research on all this bullshit. Because you know what these fucking people are like, they're just going to bullshit you with bullshit, even though it's like AI and it's crap. So now I've screenshotted a load of stuff to thrust in his face. I haven't pulled out the trump card yet. Trump card. Haven't pulled out the fact that actually half of my family are Jewish. Like fled from Poland, Jewish, so not my blood family, but I probably won't mention that it's not blood family, so I'll just let him deduce what he wants to deduce and see how much his mannerisms change if he actually thinks that I'm half Jewish, because I think he's going to become a cunt, and I don't think anyone else will tolerate that very easily. As it was, people were kind of shutting him down at the table when he was mouthing off about all this shit. So that's one person, but that's literally like one person out of everyone else is so fucking lovely. That's the sad thing, that most of them are going home before me. And of course we're going to get loads of new people on tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. And they could be lovely, or they could also be like mad in a scary way. And I don't know what to expect. Hey up, today is day 11, and I thought I would do a wanky full length thing because I got some new tights and I really like them. I thought there would be more snakes. I thought there would be more snakes on these motherfucking tights. But at least it has enabled me to turn my pajamas into one more outfit. I had an appointment with a doctor yesterday who really pissed me off in the morning. I was in a real like, what was the point of this? This was completely fucking pointless. Like, it's been quite pleasant, but it was pointless because they're not going to give me enough, and fuck this guy and fuck everything. But I don't know what the main doctor said to him, because he came back in the evening, interrupted my fucking roast dinner, which I was really enjoying, but he was like completely different. He was like really nice to me. So he'd either had a nap or the other doctor said something, I don't know. But anyway, like I got more meds than they were going to give me, because I was like, this is not going to be fucking enough. It is not enough already. It's not going to be enough. So they gave me more. And also they've said they can continue to like up it once I'm out if necessary. So that's good. So that put me in a better mood. The weird thing they're doing is I've been having like morning and night. Today, though, they just boshed everything into one fucking massive handful. Like, have that in the morning. And my heart was doing weird shit after that, because these things are like, they're like coloured pills, and my heart goes wank with colourings. So I did have to take a beta blocker, but feel fine now, so it's not a big issue. What might be a big issue, though, is whether this shit lasts 24 hours, or whether you start withdrawing beforehand. Mentally, I feel good. Physically, I feel a bit brrr. So I'm not convinced this shit is going to last all night. Reporting live from the morning, as anticipated. I feel weird today. Ugh, like sick and weird. Fidgeted around the room. Got emotional about bugger all. Made a bracelet. A rainbow bracelet, remembered how to do it finally, and then went for fucking medication finally, at which point they told me to fuck off because my blood pressure was too low. Go and eat something, go and drink something. Fuck you. I was outside Googling how to raise your blood pressure. It said pain, so I was like, right, you bastards, put you in the chair, put the blood pressure thing on you. I just bit my tongue really hard while they were doing it. I think I actually ended up with like the highest blood pressure I've had since I came, or like the most normal, because I say it's always low. Not passing on tips. If you've got low blood pressure, they should probably know about it. But like I say, mine's always low, and it wasn't that low. I was like, there's no point, there's no need for this fuck about. I'm not being sent off again. Fuck this. So anyway, I won my prize, won my massive handful of medication that I got yesterday. It's now been however long it's fucking been, about an hour or so. Still feel pretty shitty. I might fuck off and annoy people until medication kicks in, which takes fucking ages with these motherfucking things. I'm quite annoying today, aren't I? Oh, there goes a learner. Oh, they're parallel parking. Go on, you can do it. Go on, line up the doodah and the what's it. Crank the wheel. Oh, do you think it's actually her test? He's not saying nothing. Oh, she's just crunched the gears. Shit. Oh no, there's a car behind her too. Oh, she's going to get all fucked up. I know I would. Don't watch. Don't make it awkward. Oh, you're miles out, love. You're miles out. I know you've got alloys on that car, but not... What? Who the fuck puts alloys on a fucking learner car? That is stupid. It's like 500 quid that you're just going to bust up over nothing. Oh, fuck it. I'm not going to make this a fucking day-long spectator sport. I will say she's parallel. She's just about 3 foot out. That's the thing. Anyway, fuck it. This is this is bollocks. I'm off. Yeah, I had what's been upsetting me today is just thinking about going home. Who wants to go home? I don't want to go. Well, no. To be fair, because the people I came in with, they're fucking going to home and to rehab, and. Wouldn't want to be here without them. I wouldn't want to stay. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to fucking rehab, but I want to go home. Where do I want to go? Go sit in the fucking tree? I don't know, fucking kidnap that learner's car. It's nicer than mine. Oh, she's off. She cannot be on her test because she is driving like a wombat. Okay, right. Bye-bye. Oh, here is my room in night mode with 3 nights to go. I've got my little electric tea lights on the go, and I've got my rainbow ring lamp doing beautiful things, and my chaotic as fuck desk over there, and more electric tea lights flickering. Love these things. They are like the best things ever. If you're ever going to a hotel or anything, they're like really flickery and candly. I'm probably going to give these away because I've got loads at home. So I figure anyone who seems like they would appreciate a candle or two, I've got about, I think, 7 of them. And I've got this yoga mat down here that one of the staff members has just given to me. She was like, you can keep it if you want, but I'm all right for one at home. So I'm going to give it to the only girl here. And because she was talking about doing yoga. I was like, I've got a yoga mat, you can have it when I go. There is my little phone stand, so I just stick some movies on at night and do some weird stretching and then fuck off to bed. So I'm actually getting some kind of semi-bedtime routine thing going. Will it last when I get home? Who the fuck knows? Well, hello, I am back home, and this is my second day back home, which was a little bit weird and blippy-bloppy to begin with, because as demented as it sounds, I didn't really want to come home. I wanted to just stay there. I was having a very nice time, and I wasn't the only one. I think if our group of people had all been able to stay together, I think we probably just would have stayed in the weird, like, unreal world of rehab, like, forever, because it's just so much nicer than life, really. You know, as like a fucking fully grown adult, you are not in that kind of situation very often. You know, that kind of like house share feeling, like with your best mates all the time, come down at any time in the night and there'll be someone that you get on with really well. You're not in that situation anymore. You know, it felt like the best university housing ever or something. You know, you just had all these really cool people, some of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life, both in the first group who went home halfway through my stay. Like, there was particularly one guy who looked like Jack Nicholson, had just the most expressive face, with a fucking hilarious, would just kill you laughing all the time. And then literally I've designed and ordered a t-shirt which has got a couple of one guy's quotes on it, because oh my, he was a quote factory. He was like a Londoner with this like Mockney accent. Another guy, you couldn't shut him up. He was a complete ADHD case like me, and this mischievous cackle would be just rebounding off the walls all the time. I miss that sound already. There was one guy who clocked me. Like I had flown under the radar. Like I'd mentioned what I do if it was brought up, but I made it vague, just said, social media, writing, blah, blah, and then moved on. But one young guy came in. It was weird because he was quite local to me, and he kind of recognized me from somewhere, and I thought I was, we've just seen each other around or something. And then he's like, oh, hang on, you're not on YouTube, are you? And I was like, is quite funny. Usually you go to a goth club or goth festival, whatever, you're usually going to run into like one of your people, but I go to like a rehab clinic, you're also going to run into one of your people. So that was fun. He was very, very cool. And yeah, I hope I'm going to see him once he gets out as well. That will be cool. New friend in the area. Hopefully we'll both be a bit less dysfunctional than, some of the stuff we were talking about, because without saying too much, this guy really reminded me of like a younger version of myself in various ways. And it's very strange because, your younger self is still in there. So you really relate to like someone who reminds you of your younger self. But at the same time, there's moments that you kind of want to pick them up and shake them a bit because hopefully, being at a rehab clinic at that age, hopefully, they're on a different path to what you were, and hopefully it will go differently for them. But at the same time, you're like, I recognize the mindset, and I don't want you to just plod the same fucking path for as long as I have and end up with certain bollocks that I've ended up with. Like, I don't want that for you, but really cool guy, very, very interesting thoughts constantly spilling out of his interesting head. Another guy who I accidentally called Dave. I kept thinking his name was Dave, so he just kept calling me Dave in retaliation. There was one group that it was the most boring video you have ever seen in your life, with the loud guy with the mischievous cackle. He fell asleep directly opposite me, like head back, like snoring his head off. Saccharine, boring bullshit come out the TV, and you just hear this like from across the. I was dying, and then this motherfucker next to me just goes, "You're right, Dave." Those bits of school where something really cracks you up and you're trying to stay silent, and the more you try and stay silent, the funnier it fucking gets. It was like that. It's just so weird when you get to have these really open conversations with someone. You're like, you're fascinated. It's like how the early internet used to be, but in real life. Like the early internet, right? That it was completely anonymous. There were no videos, no pictures even. There was no doxing. There was no footprint. There was none of this. You could get on there with any bullshit name, weird net name you came up with. No one knew each other's last names even. Yet when you got talking, you would instantly dive into the real shit. There'd be no small talk. Because in those, like in the late 90s, you'd never had a real conversation with fucking anyone because, mental illness was not talked about. All of that shit was just swept under the rug. So if you were like a weird kid and you were the only weird kid in your high school, you've never had a real fucking conversation in your life. So you'd get on the early internet and you'd just word vomit. And everyone else would word vomit back, and it would be so real for that moment. And that is a hard thing to be dragged out of, I think, because that is how I think probably all neurodiverse people wished life was, that you could just walk up to someone and talk about the interesting shit, sort of peeling back these fucking boring layers of like, oh, what do you do for a job? And like, in rehab, that you don't get that. You get to know people, and it's crazy. So anyway, yeah, stepping out of that is weird and a bit sad, but had a very, very good day yesterday. Slept for fucking 8 hours, 20 minutes. Without taking any kind of drug, not even weed. I hadn't even baked weed. That is a first in about 24 years to have like non-drugged sleep. But yeah, regarding these meds generally, I do feel so much better already. Like, it peaks harder and then it kind of falls off. You don't have this constant horrible treacly brain fog all the time that you have on methadone. Towards the tail end, when I'm due for a dose, I get really quite bouncy. have a really quite good day. Everything is fucking exciting. Diet Coke, this is fucking exciting. And like Lapsang Souchong tea, like the smoky, this is fucking exciting. I get quite bouncy when it's like wearing off. And then when I take it, my brain just goes so quiet. You're not high, but you can just kind of lie down and think like one string of thoughts, not like all the fucking interlapping bollocks that is usually my brain. So yeah, I think it was the right decision. Whether it will become something that is dolloped out to other people at some point, I don't know. I'll talk about it more, in a few weeks once I really know how things are going, and once they've really reached whatever final dose they reach. I haven't really had any cravings for fucking anything in a while. It was weed that I craved the most while I was there. The first several days I really wanted some weed. Then I started using my little fume device thing, which is literally just a tube with some peppermint oil in it, basically. I might review it at some point because I think it's really good. I've got some new flavors coming, so but once I kind of had the oral fixation thing sorted, I haven't been bothered. I've vaped weed like once since I've been back a little bit. I haven't really had a massive craving for anything, although I do need to interrupt myself a few days later on the subject of cravings and various other things, because I recorded that while I was in a really good mood, and unfortunately it's kind of come across in this very oversimplified, you go away for 2 weeks and you come back and everything's fine and dandy and it's so easy and all of that, which is clearly bullshit, because there is literally a 90% failure rate on detox stuff like this, because it's only 2 weeks and there's really not much / any aftercare. Like, you're really supported while you're there and it's amazing, and then you just get plopped back in your normal life. And unfortunately I can see why 90% of people fail in that situation. I think for myself though, I did have very realistic expectation that there was always going to be some degree of fucking up for me, because like I said, with that write a goodbye letter to your addiction task, I cannot just go, right, I'm never going to do this again, and then live by that, because I don't possess any willpower. I have to make a mistake, go, wow, this feels like shit, and then I eventually learn from that. And that's kind of been how it's gone, that I have fucked up way less than I expected to. Like, I'm very impressed with how little I have fucked up. That there was just one little thing that I didn't think would really do anything to me, and instead I'd been in such a good mood on the new meds, and then I just blew it for myself. Felt like shit for 3 days after that, just emotionally. And I think having done that, hopefully I've kind of learned it's not worth it, not going to bother. But I think the main thing right now is just trying to avoid things that screw with my head, which feels procrastinating and avoidy and like I'm ghosting people, and I don't like that, but I guess you kind of have to do these things sometimes. So yeah, if you ever have to go to a place like this, check the reviews on Google, Trustpilot, whatever, because I will say the reviews for this place were very good, and that is shocking for a rehab clinic. Even the Priory has pretty shit reviews. This place had good reviews. They're more liberal with things like having your phone on you than some rehabs. Like, most rehabs in the UK, you are not allowed your phone, you would not be allowed your laptop. And most of us were saying this, that you would have to section us, you would have to force us to go to somewhere that you couldn't have any contact with the outside world. One thing that the nurses were able to bring up that actually made me feel less shit about going home was essentially you guys, and the level of understanding that I find on, Patreon and YouTube and Instagram when talking to you guys. Because I think the main thing that was making me sad about coming home was just the lack of understanding all round when you've been around these people who just completely get you, and then you go back home and you just feel so severed from that, and so severed from connection generally. And I was bitching about aging and the fact that I increasingly realized that I have not aged to the degree that most people around me have. Not only was there the bizarre fact that most people thought I was in my 20s, weird, because I know I get that online, but dude, like the lighting, I've always got the lighting is good when I do things online. I don't think I look particularly young in real life, honestly. I think it's more like an aura thing, that if you dress weird, you look younger. If you're quite woo, you seem younger. And then there was my frustration with how slowly they were titrating the meds up, because I was like, I am unkillable. You are not going to kill me with this stuff. I would like to see you try. I began to feel like some sort of strange, befuddled immortal being poked and prodded and experimented on by lesser mortals who do not realize how completely unkillable I am. So there was that. And then it made me realize, like, most people I've kind of grown up with who are like my age, they've either got married and had kids and they can't go out clubbing so much because of all of that, or like so many people I know have awful chronic pain and mobility issues. So they want to go out and they do go out, but they can't be leaping around like a lunatic all night. Whereas I've been astoundingly lucky that although I do have health issues, they've never really impacted my mobility and stuff. I can still fling myself around like a lunatic, because really the only thing I do think is interesting or worth doing in the world is nightlife, really. Leaping around to loud music with flashy lights flashing and sexy people to look at and all of that. I think that's like the best thing. So increasingly I'm like, yeah, that is another reason that I feel disconnected from people and the world and all of that shit, because the people I should be connected to are aging faster than I'm aging in various ways. So I think that was what I was fucking depressed about above all, was just the disconnection from everyone and everything. Whereas, at least there's you guys, and there's a freakish amount of you that I have a lot in common with, and so many people who will reply, and I will just think, oh my god, are you me? Are you in my brain? And that's really nice and really comforting and really uplifting. So if you made it this far through this gigantic weird waffling, thank you. It's all a bit overwhelming at the moment, having kind of taken a sort of inadvertent social media break for like 2 weeks. The news and stuff, I haven't seen the news really in like 2 weeks, and all of that is like, I just have no tolerance for it right now. But yes, if you are going to a place like this, or you are in a place like this, then I hope it is somewhere close to as nice and as fun as my one was. So with all of that said, I'm going to take my wiggly, fidgety self off and maybe eat something. Okay, bye-bye. Over now.